What's good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just recently saw this tweet and I'm gonna read it to you guys because I don't want to mess it up, but it said, being busy is such a blessing. You're not overthinking, you're not feeling guilty for wasting time, you're not stuck in bed, you're away from useless toxicity, and you fall asleep as soon as you hit the bed late at night. And low-key, if you guys know me, if you guys have watched me for a while, you guys know I used to be such a huge advocate for having a lot of free time, like the luxury of having time to yourself, maybe a slow morning, rotting in bed, whatever. I think it's amazing to be lazy sometimes, but I have noticed, as someone who maybe went a bit too far with it, I think it actually had a bit of a negative effect on my mental health. I think that having too much free time can lead you to being more depressed. Most of us want to be spending our days doing things that fulfill us. And I noticed for myself, I've definitely had periods where I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be a person. And I'm often digging myself deeper and deeper into that hole when I don't have things going on and I don't have things to look forward to or things that I am interested in doing to better myself as a person. And so I really want to talk about that in today's video. I kind of want to share with you guys some things that have really helped me in terms of finding hobbies that I enjoy and just ways to spend my time in a quality way instead of just trying to be busy just for the sake of being busy and burning myself out, which I think oftentimes we can do, especially in today's society. So that's kind of where I want to start, is talking about society and like, why are we the way that we are? Because when you think about it, like, okay, rewinding just a few years back, we were all very different people. I think most of us would probably say that. Like 2019 me was a totally different person than the current me. And I think for a lot of people, what happened during the pandemic is we went to remote work, remote school, everybody's at home. Home became more comfortable for a lot of us. Isolation, spending time by yourself or spending time with less people. And if you're like me, it's kind of stayed that way. You know what I mean? Like, I can say that I'm definitely kind of like a homebody. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but for me, it felt really good to have that free time. Like, it felt really good to kind of slow down and like look around us and be like, wow, society is a bit like, we as a society, we are very overstimulated. We're constantly going. There's this hustle culture, especially in America. So I think that for me, the pandemic was a really nice kind of reset. But I think at the same time, if you're not careful, again, having too much of that free time can lead you to just consume social media and ruminate in your thoughts more. And I think it can be a bit of a negative thing if you're not careful. I'm being honest with you guys, like when I do have too much free time, one thing that I especially do that's kind of a bad habit is I will smoke like all day, like literally just smoke weed and like literally just forget that I'm a human being, which can be fun sometimes, don't get me wrong, but I think it got to a point where I was like, this is not good for me. Like, this is not helping me become the person that I want to be. And although I do enjoy having my free time and all that stuff, like, there's more that I want to be doing. I want to be getting out. I want to be experiencing life. And I think that, again, there's actually a benefit in not just being busy for the sake of being busy, but filling up my time with quality interactions, quality people, and quality things like hobbies that I actually feel like fulfill me as a human being, right? And so that's kind of the journey that I've been on over this past year, is really figuring out what those things are. I can tell you, oh my gosh, it has helped my mental health tremendously. So that all to say, I want to kind of shift into how you can maybe be more intentional with your schedule every single day or your routines to ensure that you are spending whatever free time you do have doing things that actually fulfill you and that actually make you feel good. And I think the first thing, and probably the most impactful, has been finding hobbies that I really enjoy. And I think my biggest thing with that is like really looking at foundationally throughout your day, figuring out how can you build in things within that routine that don't involve scrolling, that don't involve, you know, you doing things that are not actually benefiting you, and replacing those things, or just filling that time with things that are actually good for you. So for example, for me, when I first wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is make my breakfast, and then I grab my book and I grab my coffee and I start reading like first thing in the morning. And that for me is like made it so, like when I wake up in the morning, I get excited to get back into my book. And I notice that because I wake up and I immediately do that, throughout the day, when I do have some random free time, or maybe I'm on the train or whatever, I I feel more likely to actually pick up my book again and to read more of it, because I start out my day reading it and then I'm thinking about the characters or whatever's going on in the book throughout the day. That's kind of one thing that's really helped me get into the habit of reading more, is starting out my day with it, again, implementing it into my morning routine, and also my evening routine as well. And once I'm done reading and drinking my coffee, I will go and walk my dog, and then I'll get to the gym and I start doing my physical stuff. So I'm just saying this all to say, like, it may not be reading for you, and maybe it's praying, maybe it's meditating, maybe it's talking to God and reading your Bible, whatever it may be for you. I just really, really, really encourage you to kind of find that thing, find some things, maybe it's a few things, that excite you when you wake up every single day or before you go to sleep, and kind of build that into your routines. I think it's really good to also have some sort of, if you don't already, have some sort of physical movement implemented into your routine as well, whether it be the gym, whether it be walking, maybe it's stretching, just stretching in the mornings for you, or doing yoga, Pilates, whatever it may be. I think having some kind of hobby that involves a physical activity is just such a great grounding force or mechanism. I just think it's a really good foundational thing to have in literally every single person's routine. I know some people don't see working out or the gym as a hobby, but to me, I would say it is. Yeah, having physical activity in my routine has been one thing that I would probably say throughout the years has been the one, like the major thing that has like really, really kept me sane. Okay, sorry guys, it's really hot here and I'm starting to overheat, so I brought my fan in here. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. But yeah, have some foundational hobbies and things that you kind of have implemented into your routine. I also really encourage you to maybe look into like some things that, you know, like reading, the gym, all these things are very much ongoing. Also, what are some other things, like maybe some skills that you want to acquire, some things that you want to learn about? Like, for example, for me, I'm actively working on learning Spanish. I really, really want to be fluent in Spanish by some point, like maybe by the time I turn like 30 or something. So also like within my routine, I don't do it every single day, but most days after the gym, when I get home, I will do a Spanish lesson. And I've been noticing that I get excited to like stay consistent and do that, because it's a journey that I'm on with myself, right? So again, think about some hobbies, some things that you, again, skills that you really want to learn or kind of pour yourself into, because I'm telling you, the quality of your life is going to improve so much, because you're going to have things that you're excited to wake up every single day and do, and to work on and to learn about, or whatever it may be. And it's just going to make you more excited about life. So yeah, hobbies are really, really good. I could probably go on forever just talking about hobbies, because there's like literally so many different things that you could be doing. I would also consider watching Love Island a hobby. Like, I watch Love Island almost every single day, and I will live tweet while I watch that. And I find that to be really fun, because I like will connect with people online and like laugh about what's going on during Love Island. I'm also watching House of Dragon right now. I think that like watching films and like TV can definitely be a hobby. And I actually did find, it's actually my friend who started it. She started this group here in New York that's like it's like a movie and TV lover meetup group. And we literally, like, I went to her first event a few weeks ago, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And it was just people talking about TV shows and movies, and we did like a game, and there was actually like a table reading for like a pilot of a show. It was just like the coolest thing ever. So I think that, like, again, whatever your interest may be, you don't even have to like go and find new things. It can be simple things like, again, movies, TV shows, Love Island, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to like pour yourself more into them. Don't be afraid to find other people who are into them as well, and like connect with people through those common interests, because I'm telling you, it's gonna make your life just be you're gonna be more excited about life. Like, it's just gonna make your life 20 times better. That kind of like leads me into my next thing, which is to, when you are connecting with other people and you are looking to build community, which I think is a really, really great way to, again, fill your time with things that you actually enjoy doing. When you do that, make sure that you're actually spending time looking for quality relationships and people that you share common interests with. Because I think a lot of times, like, if you're like me and you're in your 20s and you're kind of trying to figure out like relationships and friendships and how all that stuff works as an adult, I think one thing for me that I've been noticing is that, like, when you're younger, a lot of times you're spending time with people just for the sake of having friends and having people to do things with, because when you're younger, it's like you're constantly surrounded by people. You might connect because you go to the same school, or because you're in the same classes, or because you look similar, because you like going to the same parties. But when you become an adult, you have to kind of start looking for relationships and friendships that are actually built on more foundational and like adult interests. Sometimes we will just hang out with people just because we want friends, or like we'll just like, you know, someone is making plans, like people go out or whatever, and you're like just saying yes to things just because you don't want to like miss out on things. But I think that when you have quality friendships, you're being not selective, but like you're spending time with people who actually like you enjoy talking to and who make you feel fulfilled or like energized when you're talking to them. I just think it makes a huge difference, and I just think you feel a lot better leaving those interactions. So yeah. And the last thing that I really encourage you to do is take yourself on solo dates. And even if it's not just solo dates, even if you have people that you want to do these things with, have things that you are looking forward to, like new things that you are trying consistently, whether it be concerts or events or museums that you want to go to, or like there's like so many different things out there. Obviously, like just have things consistently that you're looking forward to doing on like the weekends or during your free time that are new and that are different and that are going to kind of push you outside of your comfort zone to try new things. Again, this sounds very, very obvious and very simple, but for me as someone who's becoming an adult and still trying to figure out like what a healthy, you know, happy adulthood looks like, I think this is like one of the keys, is to make sure that you have things that you're looking forward to, like whether it be a trip, even if it's not a trip, because obviously travel and going on a trip is like an amazing way to have something to look forward to. But even if it's not a trip, just have things like scheduled throughout your week or throughout your month or whatever, even if it's just like once a month, where you take yourself or you go with someone that you really connect with and do things that are fun and new and exciting. So this is something that I'm working on myself, like especially being in New York, there's just so many things to do and to try that I just like, I want to do it more consistently, and I want to have these things to look forward to maybe once a week or maybe once a month or something. Like I want to start doing these things more. So yeah, I think this is very obvious. Again, what I'm saying, a lot of these things are very, very simple. But again, I just kind of like want to come on here as a reminder that like if you ever find yourself feeling down, or like you're overthinking things, or life is just feeling mundane and not exciting for you, I just want to remind you that there's always something new out there to be learning, to discover, to read, to get into. Like there's so many exciting things in life. I feel like I just sound like someone who like was depressed for a long time and is suddenly not depressed. That's like literally what I sound like, but it's true. Like there's just so many things out there that you could be doing. So I just really, really encourage you, whenever you do kind of feel stagnant, just try new things. Even if you don't feel like doing it, kind of force yourself to do it. Like maybe get out the house, you know, even if you don't want to leave the house, maybe pick up a new book, or I don't know, just like just try new things. Like, and what will start happening is you'll start kind of being more present in your day-to-day life. You'll start actually like, even when you're doing things that you don't want to be doing, like going to work or maybe cleaning or doing the dishes, I think these things become a lot easier when you are spending more of that free time doing things that fulfill you, because you become more present in everything that you're doing, if that makes sense. So for example, for me, like doing the dishes, and this is something else I'll say also, is like habit stacking is a really great way to kind of do this as well, to kind of implement more hobbies and things into your life. So for example, for me, as I'm doing the dishes, I will do some of my Spanish lessons while I'm doing the dishes, so that I have something that I'm doing and watching while I'm getting something done that sometimes I don't really feel like doing, if that makes sense. Sometimes I'll just listen to like jazz music while I do my dishes, or like sometimes I'll just like kind of whatever, maybe I'll watch like an anime or something. But like I'm just using this as an example to say that like, even though there's going to be some things throughout the day or throughout whatever life that you don't really feel like doing, just remember that there's always other things that you can be doing to make them more enjoyable. It's really good to romanticize as much as you can out of your life, because it allows you to kind of look at every single thing through a new lens of like, okay, I am blessed to be able to be doing, I'm blessed to be alive, I'm blessed to be happy, you know what or to be healthy, you know what I'm saying? And so you have so many opportunities, there's so many people out there to meet, there's so many things to try, hobbies, languages to learn, books to read. Like the world is literally your oyster, but there is only so much time in the day, right? As we all know. So I just really, really encourage you to remember to be intentional with your time, right? Spend your time doing things that fulfill you, that make you feel good, that make you feel better about yourself. That be selective with your time, fill up your schedule as much as you can with things that make you feel good. And I promise you, it's gonna help you sleep so well at night. And I promise you in the morning, you're gonna be excited to wake up every single day. So yeah, I hope this was helpful in some way, you guys. Love you guys so, so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing week, an amazing weekend. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.